Hi, you guys. This is Acrylic Painting Monday, and this 11 by 14 canvas has this lovely garden and stone bridge. And we're going to show you in this video how to use matte medium to get this wonderful blending effect. Even if you've always had trouble blending before, you're going to get it. And we're doing a lot of matte medium in our videos lately because it does simplify the process of blending and keeps your paints wet longer. So I want to just look up and say that we filmed this ahead of time. Thus you see the picture in the frame. I think we're going to learn an awful lot of stuff. We want to thank you for joining us. And if John and I are anywhere near internet, we will be on the live chat. And you know me, it's all caps and poor spelling, but I'm here to answer your questions, and so are our mods. And welcome to the channel. Woohoo! Let's get painting. Hey, you guys, it's Acrylic Painting Monday. It's Ginger Cook with a brand new landscape. We're going to paint an 11 by 14 canvas, and we're going to learn how to just sort of mute the background colors, how to mix these bright colors of green, how to get shadows under a bridge. It's going to be a lot of fun, and even though this looks complicated, I'm going to break it down into easy steps, and even a beginner can do it. How's that? Do you believe me? Well, let's try, all right? And also I want to point out for our Red and Purple Academy members that here's the companion piece that would go with that. And what we do with companions for those who are new to the channel is that we have an online art school called Acrylic Painting with Ginger Cook, Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting. And what we have, hundreds of videos over there, but the last couple of years we've started doing companion pieces. And what that, we gave you the techniques on how to paint this. What could you paint on your own? So companion pieces are there because people always tell me, well, gosh, I can follow you tutorials, but when I go on my own, I can't. So while this is fresh in your memory, you do a companion piece to go with it. And also, if you're selling these or going to hang them, ours is 11 by 14, but this could be very, very charming large. These would be two beautiful paintings to put in a living room or bedroom, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
So kind of bringing the light up into this world. So we've got that, and we're going to talk about our palette real quick.
Wait, I can do that part.
Yeah.
Ready?
So this is the
zinc white.
Zinc white, that's what it is. And titanium white, burnt umber, burnt sienna, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, phthalo green, Payne's gray, which is black and ultramarine blue. This is pyro red. We just put it out there so you could see the difference between pyro red and, say, cad red medium, which is a little more orange. Magenta, cadmium orange, raw sienna, yellow ochre, and cad yellow medium. So those are our colors.
And titanium white if you didn't do that.
And the titanium white. And then we're going to do something like this matte medium again, golden matte medium, to do the background. And
gives you a little bit more working time too.
So you can see, it gives us a little more working time. So I'm going to start with the medium on my brush.
Looks like you're 3/4 inch again.
Yeah, 3/4 inch. And I want to make a very light blue. So I'm going to just put a little of that there. Then take some titanium white. It's going to be 99% titanium white. And the tiniest bit of phthalo blue and maybe a touch of phthalo green like that.
Because that's kryptonite.
See? And I'm going to do a touch of magenta in that, just like hardly any, like that. And so I'm going to have it more of a gray blue by doing that. See? So this is sort of a, and so we're going to go ahead and paint the background of this. No water on the brush, just this medium. And just kind of do a crisscross pattern here. Keep working the wet edges. Get more paint when you run out of paint. Here you go, like that. All right. Come on down here a little bit. Now, as I go down further, I'm just going to get some zinc white and add to this. And as I go down further, I'm just going to lighten this up just a little bit more with the zinc white. Because your background gets a little bit lighter as it gets closer to the horizon line. And your horizon line is where the earth meets the sky if there are no mountains, or where the ocean meets the sky, okay? It's your horizon line. So as we get closer to the horizon, we're going to just bring that down, all right? Now, I'm going to just mix a little bit more of that color as long as I'm mixing it. Just the same thing. And let's see, I want my paper towel out so I can wipe my brush off. You want it, sometimes I'll have too much paint on the brush for mixing, and I'll wipe that off, and then come in here like this. All right, and add a little more white to that. Just a little bit more white, okay? And I'm going to come under the bridge here like this with this color. As long as I'm doing it, right? I think I'll put a little bit of this, a little bit more blue up in here too. Just add a touch more blue up in this sky. And just kind of add a second coat here while we're doing it. Just have it all blended in. All right, like that. Now, while this is still wet, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this brush in water and get one of our smudgies out. Little golden maple smudgies. And I need a light green back here smudge. So I'm going to take some black and cad yellow medium. Okay. See that? And some white, like that, right? That's this light color. And I want to come back here like this. And while this is still kind of wet, put a little bit of medium with this. I'm going to go ahead and put some of this background greenery in here. Like that, right over this. Now we've got some big greenery up in here like that. A little bit more yellow ochre with this. A little bit more white. There you go. With some of this greenery color. Just a little bit more white with this light green. There you go. Very gently, barely touching this. See how we're putting this color on. Down in here like that. Maybe over in here. Because it's all kind of blurred. You see that? You can see that from the reference. This area is all kind of blurred. And I'll take a little bit of the zinc white and medium like that, right? And just kind of barely touch this up here like that. Kind of go over it. There you go. So you still see the blue sky. You don't see much else, but you see the blue sky. Now, we can darken that a little bit. If I take a little bit of the burnt umber and Payne's gray and add that to the darker green, okay? I can come in here like this and say I want this a little darker down toward the base. But we'll just sort of layer that in here, and I think I'll just take a little bit more of that dark color. Say I want this a little bit darker in here like that. You want it all to kind of just disappear like that. And this is a darker, let's put a little bit of ultramarine blue with that. Make a darker green up in here like this. Say this is all darker around here like that. Come down a little further, I think. And ultramarine blue and phthalo green and a little bit of black on the brush. And we're going to come down even further with these colors. Okay, kind of get that area in here darker. And then when we come over to this side, I'll get some phthalo green and some yellow. Okay, and some white. Okay, so that's kind of bright. Okay, and I'm going to come up in here like this, and I'm going to add some of this brighter green. My brush is dirty, so it should behave very well. A little bit of yellow ochre as I keep mixing. Come up on this side. See how I keep changing colors? And just something a little darker down in here. Darker green. So as we're just breaking it down into the colors that are here, all right? So like close to the bridge it's dark, but it's got to be a little bit lighter. So I'm still in the yellows and the whites and the greens, right? Okay, so here's this really light green. And as long as I'm doing it, I'm going to come in here like this and come close to the bridge. Put a little bit more green in there. So we just you're building up your values, right? For instance, like this is going to be light green right in here, but all of this down here is dark. So I'm going to say phthalo green and black, or that burnt seed, that, that Payne's gray, phthalo green and Payne's gray. And let's take a little bit of ultramarine blue with that too. See, we can make that really dark. We're going to come around in here, make this all dark. Okay, you see how we're doing that? And then down in here, there's some darker stuff too. And then over here, I'm just going to take some black, I'm going to call it black, but it's Payne's gray, right? And yellow ochre. And I'm going to come in here like this and say that's this color here on the, let's take a little yellow with that. There you go, look that a little bit greener. I'm going to say here's some of this color up by the bridge. And then as it gets darker, as it goes over the sides, so this is darker right here. So say ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, and Payne's gray. So that's really dark up in here like this. And then all along here it's dark. So as we start to add, we're just putting in where all the dark stuff goes. Okay? Just making little circles. Payne's gray, a little phthalo green. Here we're just going to come up by the bridge and say this is darker. So these are the underpainting colors. These are the colors we lay the flowers and the grass over. Okay? So we sort of fill that in, right? Then I'm going to take some Payne's gray, and I'm going to say that here's some rocks. Okay, and I got something dark under here under the bridge. All right, and then we've got some dark rocks down in here like that. So we'll just take some Payne's gray. We've got a bit of green on the brush too, so that's fine. We're going to say here's our rocks down in here like that. We know these are all going to be rocks. There's some rock out here, some rocks here. This is all dark. Then we got some green and right here, and this is a kind of a dark green color. Let's do this. It's this shadow color. Coming in here and a little bit of black with that, a darker color. Okay. To see how we're kind of getting this, and then we're going to get some of that green color and come out this way in front of these rocks, this bank like that, with this dark green color, a little bit of black in it, a little bit of yellow ochre down in here. This is a dark part of the water. So I know that I can put my first layer of dark in. What you do is you're just breaking it down into the simplest stuff, okay? You're figuring where does all the dark colors go, okay? Now here's some yellow ochre. My brush is dirty, so I'm going to come into my water like this and add this color, keeping the brush strokes going back and forth like that. And because my brush is dirty, I've got this sort of yellow-green color coming down this far. Then I can get a little more green on it. And just go deep right into the green and maybe a little bit of burnt sienna There you go. That's a better green. And then I've got something dark in this corner. Okay. Oh, the brush strokes, you want them to going back and forth like that. You want everything's back and forth. So burnt sienna paints the phthalo green and a little bit of black. You want this to be all going back and forth like that. Get some of that color in here too. Something a little darker up in here. I think I can do that now. This is dried enough where I can add a little bit of darker color up in here like this. And that's where you do it. So here we're going to layer some darker color up in here like this. Just go over it one more time. And I know this looks confusing because it's a pattern and you've got to be able to, this is the trick. You've got to be able to just discern the pattern. And one of the ways you just block in the colors that are kind of be going in this area, right?
It really looks like a bunch of scribbles right now.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? And then we're going to take some Payne's gray and white. It's got a bit of green on the brush. And let's see, probably white and Payne's gray. A little bit of blue. We're going to take that and we're going to go over the bridge. Okay, and then I want some phthalo blue and Payne's. Phthalo blue, phthalo green, and dark color. And I'm going to say there's my bridge. Let's see, so I think I want something dark along here too on this bank. All right. Now, if you need to, what you can do, you dry this and let me show you a trick, okay? You love tricks, right? All right.
Trick number one.
Hi, you guys. Ginger Cook here. So this little cute painting of the bird is all in a beautiful frame and varnished. And you'll look up here and you'll see a little landscape here of lavender fields. That actually was a YouTube tutorial. You'll see, really, I've got to bring this even closer to you. Look at this painting of the rocks and the texture. And you're going, well, what are these paintings about? This is all part of the offerings that we're going to be drawing from our scholarship fund for this quarter. And what's wonderful is that you have a chance to win, to get picked out in our fishbowl of an original Ginger Cook, signed with a certificate of authenticity. And that's for those of you who have been contributing at least $25 in the last 3 months to our scholarship fund, either whether you did it on YouTube or you came to our academy and did it, acrylic painting with gingercook.com, and maybe it was $5 one month and 20 the next, whatever it is. Maybe you did $200 or $300 over a period of 3 months. For every $25, you get a ticket in our fishbowl, and we will be drawing. And you'll be amazed at the number of people who've only done $25 that have gotten that, have won a painting. But what's really neat, let me show you a few more why I'm telling you this, because this is not just the beginning of these paintings. What's really neat is that besides helping another artist learn to paint, okay, that's really massively important. For every, if somebody contributes $25 to our scholarship fund and we scholarship somebody, we match it. So you're not only helping someone else, but also you're helping the channel stay up and us continue to make these videos. So we thank you very much. Now the final one, and there may be more depending on the donations that come in, but I want to show you the final one that is really spectacular, is these tulips in the book. And this is a little bit bigger, but how the drawing works is that the first ticket that gets pulled out of the fishbowl, they have a choice of the paintings, and then the second person gets the next choice, and so on. So I want to thank you in advance for our scholarship contributions. We know every week you guys help us out, and I want to look up here and say, listen, we couldn't do it without you. Without your support, we couldn't keep this channel going, and we couldn't help others. So thank you, thank you, thank you in advance. Have a wonderful day. Now I'm going to take my traceable and I'm going to cut it in half like this. Where's my scissors? And then when I get to where my bridge is, okay, going to do something like that. And I'm going to line the top of my bridge up because I didn't have this quite centered. I had this up a little bit, right? You with me?
Kinda.
Okay. Now we're going to take us a little bit of white transfer paper. This is the Sorel stuff. And I want to make sure that this tape isn't really wide enough to hold the canvas on. Some better, wider tape. We're gonna put this onto the canvas like that, so it's not moving. Okay. Just the right side up.
Is that the right side?
I don't know. I'm gonna just do this and see.
Well, no, you can go over far enough.
No. Should right up on these things. We always should up. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and trace over my rocks. Well, that didn't trace very well. I wonder why it did this one. Okay, I don't think that's the right side up, John. Let's look at the right side up.
I think you had it.
I think I had it. All right, all right, now when that happens, okay, what you have to do, this is important, is you got to change colors on the pen. Then you'll know what you've done. Yeah, see, that's working. So that way, if you've lost all that, you can put it back. Okay? If you're worried about losing all your rocks, you can put it back. Yes and yes?
Good idea, boss.
Yeah, I think that kind of works, didn't it? You know, you just you can put that back, and then you're not gonna. You could have put that tree in if you were really worried too, but I don't think we need to do that. So you see here, we've got all our rocks and everything back. All right, so let's keep painting. And you know, in a landscape, you start with the farthest things away and come forward. You use a little smudgy here, and I want a little bit of green and zinc white, and I'm just gonna kind of do it on here like this. Put a little black with that, and a little bit of more zinc white. Okay, and a little bit of yellow ochre. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put that color in here like that now. I'm going to keep layering in my colors, right? This is a good lesson in greens, right? We'll take a little bit more white with that color. Make that, let's wipe it off like that. You get this whole effect, this layering. You know, we're not going to dumb it down for you. We're going to really show you how to do it. Okay. It's lighter as it gets up toward the sky up here like this. And then we had a kind of a yellow, kind of a little bit of an orange tree up here like this that came up here like this. Came across. And then we put some zinc white with that because that will lighten it without. Still a few little leaves like that so they're not. Okay. And we've got some sort of green, dark brown green color over here. It's kind of coming up in here like that. And let's see, we have some black and ultramarine blue and a little phthalo green and a little bit of red. Let's put some red in that. And a little more green and yellow. There you go. That's pretty dark, right? And I think we've got these colors in here like that. Some more greens. It's an interesting, I debated whether to do this one, but I thought, you guys can do it. It's just, how else are you going to live? If no one ever shows you how to do this, how would you know? So here's some zinc white with that, and it gets very soft up here. Same color, just zinc white. And then this comes up your here like this, into this background, like this. Leave a little bit of that blue showing. You've got that, and you've got some of this up in here like that. And if you lose all the blue, you can put some back too, right? Okay. So that, because there really isn't a lot of detail in this background until you get into the trees and all that stuff. So you're just basically what you're trying to do now, okay, is go over it with a little zinc white, push it all back like this. See that? See, I come over this dark area and do something kind of misty in here like that. And it's just all very effective, right? A little zinc white up here. You could push a lot of stuff back if you didn't quite get it the first time. I think it's kind of pretty. I mean, it gets really pretty because when you put the details in, then that works. And let's see, let's push. We have this dark here, and then let's push this to take a little zinc white, which is your transparent white, and do this, kind of lighten that up a little bit. It's acrylic, so you can do all that stuff, right? And you don't have to sweat the spin stuff. So, all right, I want some phthalo green and zinc white. Okay. And a little bit of that black color. There you go. And I want this color over in here like this, kind of the smoky blue green color. All right. Now, let's put the brushes away and let's get out some detail brushes now. I'm going to take some burnt umber, a little black, put it on here like that. And a little bit of red with that. Take a little red. Got this nice dark, rich, dark brown, right? And I'm going to come up here like this. I'm saying I've got a little tree that's doing this. You just use the tip at the toe of your brush like this to get the little branches. Let's put some branches up here like this. Reload your brush all the time. I'm going to put a little bit of darker green on my brush, and I want something a little bit darker in here now on the corners. Like that. Okay. And let's see, we're still doing that dark here, so I think I could put a branch coming, a little tree coming up here like this. A little tiny bit of water on the brush because it's it's kind of dragging. Okay, so there's that tree. Those are the main trees, okay? And I'm going to do some dark under here under the bridge. Put a little more Payne's gray with that. And I'm going to do something like this with the water. Okay. I'm going to come up here and say, okay, I've got a dark rock right here. Just come back with the really dark color here. Got a dark rock here. Got something dark up in here. Over here, I've got a dark, kind of darker than I had it. Okay. And then I put a little green with that, and I got something really darker up in this area. As long as I'm, putting in colors, right? So you see how we sort of build it up? Now, let's see, I'm going to just... All right, so we're going to take a moment and dry that, okay? And you'll see how we're going to do this.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas in July, my friends. Now don't go thinking I only pop in once a year. Oh, no! This summer, I've got something special just for you. All of Ginger Cook's downloadable acrylic painting tutorials. Yep, every single one is 30% off all month long. That's right. From July 1st to the 31st, you can deck your digital halls with over 50 stunning step-by-step painting tutorials, and with more added every month. Each download is yours to keep forever. No expiration dates, no Wi-Fi needed. Create your very own painting library that you can revisit anytime, any season. Whether you're painting snow-covered barns or summer poppies, there's something magical waiting just for you. And between you and me, Ginger adds new lessons all the time, so your collection can keep growing long after July has melted away. So grab your brushes, fill your stockings early, and head to Ginger's website before the sleigh rides off at the end of the month. This 30% off sale won't last long. Christmas in July sale, 30% off all downloadable lessons from our new website, gingercookondemand.com. July 1st to the 31st only. Brushes down, smiles up. That's the Ginger Cook way. Ho, ho, ho!
Okay, so now rinse the brush. Okay, I'm going to make some of that light phthalo blue mist color, right, again, like we did, right? Remember? And I'm going to come up here like this. And I'm going to come over these trees. Okay? And I'm going to just sort of push them in the background. They're there, but you're not really seeing them. And that's what zinc white will do, okay? It will allow you to put a tree and just kind of make it's there, but we're not talking about it that much, right? Same thing up here like that. We'll just kind of push those branches back like that. I'm going to take a little burnt sienna and a little glazy medium. Kind of like that, just like that, right? And I'm going to come on under here like this. And I'm going to put these colors in here like this, kind of back over in here like that. Then maybe I'll take a little yellow and orange and say that I've got some trees in here like that. Let's take a little more orange with the yellow, mix that up a little better. Okay. I'm going to say that this is coming down over here like that. This is a little darker up in here. A little bit more burnt sienna with that. Okay. See how we're doing that? There's the brush. Wipe it off. Take a little bit of zinc white and yellow ochre, I think, would be a good color right there. Put some of these colors in here like that. See how we're just doing the background, right? A little bit of green and raw sienna. Let's get a little bit of phthalo green and raw sienna. A little bit of zinc white. Okay. Put some of these colors in here like that. Okay. Oh, some darker green and raw sienna. Let's see, like that. Just to do a little darker green, raw sienna. And I want a little bit of orange with that. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay. And a little bit of ultramarine blue with that color. And a little dark green. And a little bit of raw umber. And let's see, what color do we have here? Like that. We'll just put that in there like that. Okay, so we're still getting that. Then, oh, yeah, no, it'll do some white. I haven't rinsed the brush, right? Got some white, and I've got some light green. And some zinc white, I guess. Wipe all the paint off the brush like this. Clean it off, and then get into that color again. Okay, just this light color right here, like this. And I'm going to go, this is the next layer of lighter colors that go in front of these. A little bit more yellow in that. Very gently. There's our next layer of light colors, right? Zinc white. So so much of this is out of focus, and that's the point I'm making, is so much of this is out of focus. And so when you're doing your greens, and we're layering this in there, right? You've got to do all this before you do the details. A little bit of phthalo blue, like in here, like that. Do all of that stuff before any details happen. Okay? Something dark back in here by this side of the tree. Okay? And then I've got some light thing. I keep looking at my picture. I've got some light up here. I take a little yellow and zinc white. Okay, that's too bright, so I'll take some titanium white with that. Okay, wipe all off the brush, right? Now I'll just come up here like that. Do a little bit of this color right in here like that, just kind of over that. It's all layered over, okay? We're pushing all that stuff in the background, right? Rinse the brush. Really rinse it because you've had all this green on it, right? So wipe it off on the paper towel. Okay, so when you there, make sure you got all the paint off. See all the paint that's on this brush when I wipe it. Okay, now I'm going to take some zinc white. Okay. Okay, I want this color. All right, wipe all the paint. Zinc white, wipe paint. More zinc white because I don't quite have it there. Kind of a little bit too much yellow in it, right? Now I want to kind of come around here like this and push this back, okay? But make this out of focus. This is the trick of zinc white. This is how you use it. You put something dark and then you push it back. So it looks dark, but it isn't. You know what I mean? You just kind of, this is how you fade stuff into the distance. All right. Probably enough of that. All right, so I'm going to take some white and blue, and I'm going to come across here like this with some light gray, and then as it gets over on this side of the bridge, it's a little bit lighter like that. See, there's our bridge, right? Now, if I've got that color, where else could I put it? I could put it right here on some rocks. And I don't mind there's a little green on the brush because it could be moss on that rock too. I'll put some of these white highlights on it. Can take a little bit of white under here and come under the bridge like this. If we got any greens, which we still have some on our palette, okay, let's come under here like this with the green. Okay. See how we're kind of getting, you can kind of see it now, can't you? How we're building this up. Or we've done any detail or anything. We're building this up this way. Okay, this is loose painting, and it's difficult for sock folders because they want some sort of detail, and you have to stand back for the painting from the painting, and then it kind of comes into focus. So I will do a small brush here. Now another layer on the rocks or on the bridge here. Yeah, just make sure we've got this. It's not even. Okay, take a little bit of magenta and gray. Like that. There you go. Now, on this side of the bridge, when you're doing this part of the rocks, you're coming down. You want the brush strokes going down. You don't have to do a lot of details, but the brush strokes are coming down like this. You're suggesting rocks without drawing them in, okay? And it's lighter on the edge here. Okay? We're going to suggest some rocks. Get a little bit grayer here. Here's some darker sides of the rocks. There's always a light and a dark side of a rock. Okay, so you've got to say where that is, right? Should have sharp angles on your rocks. They shouldn't be too rounded. When rocks are in water, they're level at the bottom. With the green and black together, the dark color. See how we're just sort of shaping these guys in here?
Yeah, looking like rocks.
We're
More and more,
suggesting
each
some under
layer.
the bridge too, just by doing that, right? Okay. I think I want to do something here a little bit lighter. I don't like this tree right there. So I'm going to just take some white and kind of that blue sky color. Come up here and thin it out a little bit. There, it's just too much. I want something a little bit lighter next to it. I'll put some sky back too up here like that. All right, so I made this light color. Good, we're making this. So where else can we use it, right? Well, we can come under here like this using the angle brush. Come under here, the bridge. Maybe this is kind of sharp lines here like that, right? And then we're going to come this way, right, with the... I think we have to have some more phthalo blue in that color. All right, and we're going to come up here like this, and we're going to say this is the water. Like this. A little ultramarine blue too. It's a little bit too phthalo-y. All the water is level. See, that's the trick. You keep all the brush strokes straight across. Okay, well, that goes that way. Now we have most of our river is in greens, so we're going to take some yellow ochre and a phthalo green, and that makes a very nice olive green like this. We're just going to go ahead and paint the water in here that color. Or maybe raw sienna and phthalo green is working too, because you want this really kind of moss green color. And a little bit of white with that. Some of it's lighter than others. Okay. So then let's come over on this side and do the same thing. Okay. And then on this side, I'm going to rinse the brush. If you have light on it, you've got to get the light off before you do a dark. We need some darks. We're going to take a little bit of black and phthalo green together. We're going to say this is darker here, over here in this corner. Coming down here like this. A little bit of phthalo blue and phthalo green. Right down here at the base of this, a little bit of black color. This really has to be dark here. And then make sure this is dark under here too on this side. Okay, then I'm still in the Payne's gray color, so I'm going to do my shadow under the bridge. See? I mean, don't you love how you get the depth? And at first you don't have it, you know. You've got to keep putting it because the paint maybe is either drying darker or lighter. You see how you're getting the rocks, and this is how you build up the layers. You don't. It's really interesting. You can't screw it up because you just keep working on the layers, right? Now here's a little bit of burnt umber and burnt sienna, and have some brown in here like that. And I want some phthalo green here, I think. This is yellow ochre. See how we're putting the water in? And it's really very, very easy, right?
Layers.
Just, all right, so we're going to leave the water alone. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we're going to leave the water alone. And then we're going to start adding some detail. There's some fun, nice big brush strokes up here like that. So we got some phthalo green and yellow and like that. And we're going to load it all on the brush at one time. We're going to come up here like this and just do some brush strokes like that on this tree. And we're going to say that there's some, not too much. There you go. That tree's done. Okay, that was there. And then I know I need some yellow. Got to get all that dark green off now. Okay, I need some yellow and white, something yellow, greeny, white color, light yellow, green color, right? Up here like this, right? Maybe some zinc white with that. That's what we need, zinc white. That needs to be a little bit lighter right here. See how we just did that? Just very quick little brush strokes. Nothing too crazy. All right. We got something kind of light, kind of a mint light green over here. In this area right here. We're gonna just suggest that something's growing here like that. And I know this is counterintuitive. You're going, I don't know what you're doing here, but you gotta trust me. This is counterintuitive, but it can be fun, right? So let's take some yellow, right? Come up here like this and say that there's some yellow flowers right here. I probably should use a clean brush. And I'm all out of clean paper towels, so let's get another one. Otherwise, you're just mixing colors again, new ones on the paper towel, which you don't want to be doing. So if you want to know about how to mix colors and how to mix all these greens, I suggest you actually study it a little bit with our color mixing journal, our quintessential color mixing journal, because that's going to make a big difference in how you're painting and what you're painting. See, I've got some green coming up here like this, some of those dark green ones up here like this. That's the wrong green there. Let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, and we've got some pretty dark browns up here like this. Okay. And then we've got some white, kind of phthalo green and white. Let's tap in some tiny little colors here. Using just the corner of our brush. Just getting white now. Okay, see, I'm starting to put in the flowers. And get a little bit of yellow with that. I'm just going to put some yellow ones up in here like this. And we can do some yellow here like this. Growing up here like that. Now here's where the angle brush comes in so nice. Put a little water on it like this, and then you can do like that. I can do that like that. See, just some little grasses. This is the part that's so cool. Try it if you're worried about it, so that you don't. So if you don't like the brush stroke, you can take it off. But just flatten the brush. See, like that, right? Now I've got this light green color with some yellow in it, right? And I've got this coming down over the bank like that. Keep it paint on one side of the brush. Some of the greens. See how we're adding the colors? I'm going to get some more phthalo green because we're going to use some different colors up here, kind of. More of the blue greens in here, right? Don't lose all your dark because you need that contrast. I'll put a little white on the brush here like this, and I'm going to say I need some wonderful grasses growing this way, as opposed to unwonderful. I don't know. Are there unwonderful grasses, John?
No.
Just
no such thing. All grasses are wonderful.
Okay.
Some are just more wonderful.
Oh, that probably is true. Yes and yes.
Look at all the greens you got in this thing.
Look at all the greens, right? So, and we've got some coming up this way too. And yeah, this is kind of fun. This is sort of a fun painting because because when you look at it, for instance, like here's a little magenta and yellow, right, like this, and I've got some of this magenta color coming through here on this tree, like that. Some sort of leaves that are doing that. Okay, that's up there. And then we've got this olive green color right here, which we didn't really get that well. Let's put some more yellow ochre in it. This is this kind of olive green color on the bridge. It comes back down over here, this side. Okay. And then you want it to have a little bit of this light gray. This is sort of an interesting video. Every once in a while, when we're doing these premieres, I just think, what the heck? Maybe I'll do one. I wouldn't do it live, but I might be willing to do it. I want to suggest the bridge over here. Some light blue. Get that light enough, right? There's some rocks and so forth. You don't have to, just because an AI puts a rock in the river doesn't mean you have to put it in there either, by the way. Sometimes you guys, it's a photograph or it's an AI generated image and they put this something in there and then you think, well, that's a good idea. I should do it too. No? No, you don't. Now, I'm out of titanium white. The one thing I'm going to do with this palette, because the contamination is pretty good, I'm going to just go ahead and scrape all the colored white color I've got. and I'll put new white paint out. That's the trick. So you want to, kind of watch what you're doing there, right? And we've talked about this before. If your brush has had a lot of colors on it, even when you rinse it and go into white, chances are it's not going to be as white as if you got a brand new brush and did that. But let's go back and put some white on our rocks. And on our bridge here like this. And then our water. Okay, got it every once in a while. You have to put the light on. Just turn the lights on. And here's a little bit of white and light blue. It's just titanium white and a little bit of blue in it, just the tiniest bit, okay? There you go. Don't need much, just a little bit of ultramarine blue, and you're going to put these little sharp lines. I want this a little bit bluer right in here. There's some bluer water. Ooh, too blue. Want to lighten up this. Let's take a bit of zinc white and lighten this up in here like that. See how we're layering it out? Sometimes you flatten the brush to get that look. Sometimes you don't. And you want something very light green in here, like that kind of a yellow green. And you're coming across like that. Put some of that yellow green in there, like that side. And let's see, we got some, maybe got some bright, ooh, too much paint on the brush. When you dip it in there, you gotta, that's why I always wipe it off, right? Got something kind of brighter coming down here like that. See? And, okay. So we've got some of that color kind of in here on the bridge. Some of these little loose colors like that. Coming down here. Some grasses. There's a kind of a really pretty plant that's, well, we've got a little bit of a yellow plant up in here, right, like that. Okay. So, I've got a yellow plant coming in here too, so let's take yellow and white. Flowers get bigger as they come closer. All right, see how that works? Things get closer, get a little brighter. You want to bring these plants into the water at some point. Try to get them growing in different directions. Okay, like that. We've got something coming over here like that on these rocks. And, so how long have we been at this, John?
You got a buck in it.
About an hour. And then look how much we've done in an hour. So we're going to give this a good dry and come back and add the flowers. Hi friends, you're watching a special premiere video today, and I wanted to pop in and tell you why. This tutorial was filmed ahead of time because John and I are off exploring the world again, hiking mountain trails, visiting art museums, and collecting fresh inspiration to bring home to you in future lessons. But here's the thing, whether we're on a cruise ship or in a wildflower field like this, we never miss a lesson. Our YouTube and Academy videos are always released on time because helping you grow as an artist is something I care deeply about. If you're new to the channel, welcome. welcome. I hope you'll subscribe, give the video a like, and make yourself at home. We've got lots of lessons here and even more over in our Acrylic Painting Academy. And even while we're traveling, I still do personal art coaching almost every day for our Red and Purple members. That's right, I'm reviewing paintings, recording video feedback, and cheering you on, one brush stroke at a time. If you're sending your art in for pack or posting in our free Facebook club, I can't wait to see what you're working on. Oh, and during this premiere, if the Wi-Fi is strong and the time zones line up, John and I love to jump into the live chat. He types like a wizard. Me? I'll be there too, typing in all caps with a few spelling goofs, but it's just me, excited to connect with you. So thanks for being here. Let's paint something beautiful together wherever we are in the world. Now, we're starting to get our Christmas scholarships ready. So if you know of somebody that you think would like an Academy scholarship with personal art coaching, or maybe you would like it yourself, and you want to recommend somebody, or maybe you just recommend yourself, that's all right too, right? What we would like you to do is use the Contact Us on the website and write us a letter and maybe show a couple of pictures, include a couple of pictures of what you've painted, and tell us why that a scholarship would make a difference in your life.
What would it mean to you?
What would it mean to you? Okay. And you guys, if you know somebody that could use a scholarship to get to just bring their art journey further, that's important. Okay. So, and we respect that, and we would very much like it if you would, maybe recommend a friend. Now I'm going to use a small detail brush now. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, that'll work. Okay. It's a golden maple number 6. Now I'm going to take white and magenta. All right. Okay, let's come up here with a new board, new mixing board. Okay, like this. And we're going to say that we've got some magenta. I'm going to start with the darkest color first, and we'll tap them on here like this. It's a vine that's going down. It gets smaller as it goes down. We've got one growing up here like that. Put a little bit of dark color in here. Dots get smaller as they go down. Okay. Kind of overlay them, right? We've got some little ones up here like that. And we've got some that are very light pink. It's almost a peach color. Put a little yellow in it. It's almost a peach when you do that. And you've got something that's a little bit lighter coming up here like that. The bridge.
You got to make sure you're fully dry before you do this.
Yeah. That way, if you don't like it, you can just wipe it off. You literally, if you're fully dry, you can just hold it under the sink and hose it off. If you're really having a fit, done that. I did that one time with a stay wet canvas. It wasn't a stay wet canvas. It was for watercolor. It was Jerry's had them, and they were for watercolor as well as oil, oil or acrylic. And so when I went to rinse it off, the whole canvas, the whole thing just slid into the sink. The whole painting, everything just disappeared. All right, so I'm going to take some orange and a little bit of burnt sienna. Okay. We're going to come in here and we're going to make these flowers. They're like little puffs of stuff, right? And we want to start with a kind of the burnt sienna color and the orange. Put some yellow with it. When they first show up, they're not going to be that much, right? Because you're just putting in these base colors. Okay, so you're not going to see that much of it. But let's get a little bit more of the orange color, right? Let me just rinse the brush because I've had a lot of brown on it. Now I'm going to go into my orange, see on top. Flowers are often 3 or 4 colors. Start with the darkest colors underneath and the lighter colors on top. Okay. Let's take a little bit of that yellow with that orange. And then we've got some sort of little orange flowers in here that are back in here that are just coming down here like that, off of here like this, and some up here too. They're growing up here with some white and yellow.
The jungle is coming alive.
Yeah, you just got to be a little patient with it. You're going to layer dry if you have to. Layer dry. The lighter colors come on top. Vary the size of the flowers. It's quite a little collection of flowers that are coming down here like that. And, we could spend, probably hours on this. We're not going to today, but you get the idea of how you paint something like this. And, I would encourage you to, phthalo blue and yellow makes a really bright green. I mean, really, really bright green. And I want some bright green over some of this. I'm going to put a little more yellow out because I've used it all up. And I want the flowers in the front to be bright, or the green. This has got to be lighter, okay? So I'll take some phthalo blue and yellow because that'll make it really bright. And maybe some white with that. Yeah, let's do that. Put some white with it. See the difference? See how you can brighten up a green? Put a couple of these colors over here too. Let's brighten up some green in here like that. Look at that. See, I had a little color on my brush. Let's see, when you pick up color, you just want to make sure you just have it on the tip where you want it to go, right? Again, I want to put some light color with this. More light blue, kind of a light blue one here. See how we're able to just, create this sort of fantasy landscape. Without having to do too much, right? We've got some kind of light gray color here. On the bridge. Over the top. We've got some good contrast on those flowers, but I'm going to get some dark brown and add a little bit more on these flowers right here. We don't have the dark enough. The dark would be on the underside of them. And don't lose all your darks. Okay, make sure that there should be a whole area of dark in here that's just kind of like that coming up. Yeah, I know you thought this was going to be hard. Do you think it's hard? I'm curious. After seeing it painted, do you perceive this as hard?
It'll help us design future paintings.
No, to tell you, would you like to see more like this? Something else? We're always interested. And just take some white and just do some white in here like this on the water. Like I say, we could play a lot more with this. We're not going to, but I think you get the idea of how we're creating this little woodland scene. Yes, yes, and yes. And don't underestimate the power of zinc white, because if you've got something too bright, you can push it back like that. Let's see. I think that was zinc white. Should have been. Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Huh. Okay. I thought that was zinc white, John. Didn't I put zinc white out there?
What's that?
I thought that little pile over there was zinc, but it doesn't matter. I guess it wasn't, but I thought it was, right?
You told me the one on the right corner was zinc.
Okay.
I believed you.
Me too. Well, it was originally, but then I think I put some more out, so I'm not sure, right? Was original? All right, I think that's all I'm going to do for this. You can, find the traceable on our website, gingercookondemand.com for $1.29, $1.29, or you can become an Orange member and have access to all the traceables for the last 3 years at your fingertips. So it's just whatever you feel like doing. Cancel anytime, even if you did that one. So it's whatever you want to do. And
try to make it easy for you.
But just try to make it easy, right? And we've got I think we have a fun little stream, don't you?
I think so.
I think it's fun, and it's you're not going to work, are you? So let's grab one of my little brushes here like this, wipe it off. See, you have to, if you use a paper towel, then you can see exactly how dirty that brush is. Here, so we got so much paint on that paper towel, it couldn't wipe off anything. And that's what you got to kind of be aware of, right? But see how I'm wiping that brush off like that? And I want to take some more white paint, tap it on here like this, and make sure I put some in here like this. Want it a little bit more white on this river. Like that, and my rocks. I want a little bit more pink on this. Just didn't, the first coat didn't make it. Sometimes they just sort of fade out and then you don't see them. But I think you've got the idea of what we're doing. And how we do it. So I would say this was a very nice example of how to paint water.
Water going under a bridge.
Water going. What's your mother? My mother used to say if something happened that I wasn't.
Oh, that's water under the bridge.
It's water under the bridge, darling. Just
water under the bridge. Nothing to worry about here.
I think we should call that painting in honor of what my mother would say. Honor under the bridge.
Water under the bridge.
I'm going to make some more flowers in here. I think we don't have enough. And this whole area here needs to be filled in a little bit more. Where's that cad red light? Let's try that. Some of that color. Yeah. There. No. Probably want some yellow with that. And some black. Let's put something black in there too. There. What is something dark on the base of these flowers? All right, you guys. I'm going to dry this. We'll put it in a frame. See what you think. And
on a one and only 11 by 14 frame.
We have one, don't we? I think we have one.
Yeah, we got one at least.
We have at least one, right? We have at least one.
You know, we did a query to find out the most popular sizes of paintings. And you'd be happy to know that 11 by 14 is number 3 on the list. Unbeknownst to us.
Yeah, well, we didn't know, but, sometimes we just buy what's on sale. I don't know about you, but sometimes we do that. What other sizes could they make this, John?
Oh, I would take that up to an 18 by 6 or 1824.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
This would be very pretty, and you've got to be willing to just let it be a little loose, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you sock folders out there, we know who you are.
You got to get some loose with it.
Relax with this one.
Yeah. Okay, I'll dry it. John, put it in the frame.
All right, let's get that dried up and we'll finish her up. That's nice looking. Ooh, I'm liking that in that frame. It has a woodland feel.
Yeah, now I'm going to still do a little bit more zinc white. I'm going to make sure, I don't know what I have on the palette, but it doesn't feel like zinc white to me. So I'm going to put some more zinc white out just to make sure that it is the zinc white that I think it is, right? See where it says that zinc white? You all saw that, right?
Well, we're telling everybody it's zinc white.
Because zinc is your translucent white, right? So I want to make sure that I use some. I have a little bit of the the medium left. Okay, so I'll put a little of that on the brush and there, like that. I want this very thin.
You're pushing it back a little bit.
I want to shove this in the background a little bit.
A skosh, as it were.
I think I'll put a little bit of color with it. A little bit of color with this. Okay, now I'm going to try something else because I'm still not happy with that. I want this to be lighter. There you go. See, I wanted that to be sort of gradated there. See how I'm doing that? Just a few more layers of that with some light behind it. So you could kind of push that back into the background, which I think is nice, right? I mean, sometimes you'll just see something and think, well, what if I did this or what if I did that, and how would that look? And I think it's pretty good. And the same thing here. I could take that zinc white and just push this a little back too. A little zinc white and tiny bit of this maybe yellow ochre. We'll do that. Just to give it a little more depth in the painting. Is that because you want to bring your eyes kind of up and toward the front when you're doing that? So then you got to look at your contrast and say, well, all right, so This rock. Did we get that? Did we? Stuff like that. There's not a lot of things that you have to do much, but I think those are kind of things that are worth doing. A little bit of white and yellow. Put that here. Put these little flowers going back up here like that. There, okay. And did we get enough of the orange? This orange stuff here.
The orange stuff?
We had some orange flowers. How did they work? Did we? So when things dry, it's just a little bit different. You see that? You have to, sometimes you just have to go back up and touch it up. And you wouldn't think that, but it's true. All right. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. If you have the reference, you might want to, maybe add something or take something away that I didn't think to do. But overall, I think that this is this painting was inspired by our trip to Ireland. We took a picture of a lot of bridges, and even though I had the AI generate the image, it was from a photograph that we had taken in Ireland. We travel, we bring the world to you, and we see the world differently. If we didn't travel, I don't think we would come up with the paintings that we do. You can't just live in the studio, but I know some of you can't so we kind of get out there for you, right? And that's the idea behind this. So I want to thank you guys for being supporters of our channel and sharing the news with others. I want to thank you for the support of our gosh, you guys. Thank you so much for the scholarship fund support that you do, and I appreciate that so much. And I know John does too. And I
Absolutely.
think I have
Makes
to
a difference to a lot of people.
All right. So these flowers didn't show up at all. Did you see that?
It just disappeared.
Yeah, and you've got to be willing to go back and say, okay, where did they go? Where did they go? See, and these get some light on them. A little bit of white on the edges, right? They're not flags. They're not polka dots. They're not stars on a flag. Please remember that when you paint them. Change the size of, change the size of the dot of your brush, right, like that. You want to just, and don't forget to brighten your greens when it comes up to here. So you learned a lot about mixing greens. If you want to know about mixing paint, use the quintessential color mixing journal, and I'll tell you what, you'll never wonder how to mix any of these greens again. It'll just come naturally to you. It's just like when you cook a whole bunch of times. If you've been cooking for years, you don't measure every single thing. You just know how to make stuff, and that's when you're just gonna know, right? And there's something to be said about just knowing. And I want you to just be able to sit there and say, yeah, I know how to do that. Now, isn't it wonderful to sit there and say, I know how to do it? That's, for instance, like if you know how to paint everything, then you just paint what you want. You're not saying, oh, I wish I could paint that, but I only know how to paint this. One thing about I can tell you is that on our channel is that we show you how to paint a lot of stuff so that whenever something hits your fancy, you can say, oh, I know how to paint that. Ginger showed me. Yeah, Ginger showed me.
Yeah, a piece of cake. I can do it in my sleep.
This is going to be so fun. I can't wait to see what you're painting. Be sure to share them on our free Facebook club and send them in for pack. Even if you don't want to pack, I just want to be able to put it in the brag book up on our Pinterest page, Ginger Cook Live on Pinterest, and it's you've got to be a member of Pinterest. It's free, but you have to be actually join Pinterest to see the pictures. But you can go back 10 years to see what our students have been doing as a student board. 2025. Come see what our students have been doing this year, and what they did last year, and what the year before, and watch the improvement. Have fun, you guys. Have a great week.
Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to give the old thumbs up on the way out the door. And if you're the last one out, be sure to lock the door. Make sure the cat's out.
You turn the water off.
Bye, everyone.